I've already brought you guys
Welcome back to
in.
CCL, everybody.
Darn it! Now I don't have your handsome face over my name, so people. Darn.
That's okay, but you have a handsome face already. Don't worry about it.
Oh, very true. Very
All right.
true.
Anyway, bye chat. Bye chat. I'm gonna go.
Bye, chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Let them take it from here. Take it away, guys.
All right. Well, welcome back, everybody, to the CCL. We're gonna be having a good match here. I am AJ Cannon, and I am joined by Sahi, and that is the correct way to pronounce it. If you don't listen to him, it's fine.
No. The time for goofing around is over. We have a very serious match in our hands. there shall be no goofing around. I decree. You know what, Leo? Leo, I need you to pipe down. I need you to pipe down, and I need you to pay attention to this match. I need you to take notes, so you can get better at the game, Girly Grippers.
Oh.
Yeah. So today, though, speaking of studying the match, the thing that I'm going to be studying this match is Soren. I generally consider Soren to be one of the best goalies in the game as long as he is inside the goalie box. But as you know, Soren, that's only about 40% of the time. So we're going to see how that works out. We're going to see if Soren Sorens and if Sorening works today. But it is a bit of a Soren spot sometimes.
I mean, Soren isn't on goalie here, is he?
You know what? You have a fair point. E.T. Han is goalie. That might need to be fixed. If we can get Surplus to double check and confirm that E.T. Han is going... If E.T. Han is going to be playing goalie, that's a little bit uncharacteristic considering that E.T. Han is an ex-Julie main. Does play some goalie, but, you know, I'm looking at a 43% Dubu and a 37% Kai, and it does not exactly inspire confidence compared to, like, 56% on X and Julie. So, double-checking with the Lakeland Catfish that their goalie is indeed
Soren just said
E.T.
no. That doesn't answer my question, Soren. That doesn't answer my question. Okay, I think they're just going with it, chat. I think they're just going with it, so it's
all right.
fine.
You know, yeah, it's okay. They can do whatever they want.
I mean, if you just make Soren the leader and then, you know, they can sort it out. Because they can't, like, swap around because there's no spare spectator spot in the lobby.
Maybe they could even Soren it out.
All right, anyway, we're going to go to the map bans here.
All right.
All right.
So we have Team 1, which is Lakeland Catfish. And then Team 2 is going to be the Longhorn Gaming. We're going to have an IMEs at ban, which is pretty standard when you are going up against Juliet. Also, Night Market ban, same thing there. Just a lot of the KO maps taken out of there. Nobody loves new goo, just like nobody loves old goo. It's always sad, but we're going to be playing...
I hate it less, to be fair.
Fair. It is more fun to play on as goalie. You're not quite as stressed, but it is definitely a time to play on goo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be playing on Atlas. Sorry.
Yeah, Lakeland's taking it to Atlab for us.
Mm-hmm.
Demon Deus also gets in the ban. We're gonna get Oni Taiko Temple, game 2, from Longhorn Gaming, and then Oni Village as our finisher if we get to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything to say about these maps? I really don't.
Aside from Taiko, I applaud the Taiko, but Atlab and Oni Village is kind of just like the way it's been for like the past year. Like
we got the standard maps.
Yeah, they're the standard maps. I mean, there's sort of two sides to that. On the one side, we're going to be seeing the same maps that we usually see. And so for that, you know, less creativity, less just wow moments when you see an angle you've never seen before. But on the other hand, these maps have been very well practiced by these players. They know these maps like the backs of their hands. And so we're going to be seeing some good matches on these maps. And should be exciting.
Yep, we're getting to game here. Personally, I'm excited to see the Taiko Temple game because I suck at Taiko Temple. So I'll be taking notes over here in my little caster seat.
Mm-hmm. He's got the IME note emote ready to go. But okay, so we have
Yeah, we got Specialized Training and Demolitionist here for our starting Awakenings.
Does
Gonna
make a
be
lot of
something
sense.
you might want for the X. Both those Awakenings. Good for the X. M&M Mouse hovering.
Yeah, and we also might potentially see a double Julie ban. Just nobody wants the other person to get the Julie. They just don't want to play against it. So we're going to see an X coming out of M&M Mouse. And 2 Vices coming out, Soren, versus I assume that is going to be Flambeau. Got quite a few games on Vice, but we're going to see a Kazan versus X with Specialized Training. Also, I assume Vices as well. Yep, and then we have 5 Specialized Trainings, Soren, M&M Mouse, and ETN all pulling the Specialized Training, and then Flambeau and Nicky Minolin going for it. And then we have Demolitionist on Mako. You don't benefit as much necessarily from the passive as the goalie Mako, but you do benefit a lot from the size because you have multiple melee abilities, so it's just really good on that Mako.
Yeah, and it does turn out. It does look like ET Honda is playing goalie here. A little bit unexpected.
Yeah,
Soren
definitely.
bites the bullet immediately to Nicky Minolin.
Goalies playing forwards, POV. You never quite have the forward positioning down as much, so you end up just kind of dying a couple of times before you learn the hard way. Because Kazan is going to be Nicky Minolin.
Yes.
And so, ooh, that's going to be M&M Mouse going into the goal. But then again, so is the core. So, kind of just works out. The blood sacrifice going into the goal there.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering off these picks if Lakeland's going to pull out some weird backward strategy where you have a forward pick that plays goalie and a goalie pick that plays forward for special gear or whatever. But turns out we're just straight up going to see Etiana and goalie here. Hopefully he's able to just make this brawl comp work.
I mean, is killing it on the Fania. These cards have been really on point. Like, because it takes so long for the Fania card to come out, exactly like that. Wonderful kill from Etihan, then going across the map. M&M Mouse also sinking Maple Leaf into the goal. Nobody's safe.
A beautiful combo of kills, and Nicky Minolin just not having the... just not being able to save that. Kind of just over.
Yep. Yeah, Etihan has just been on point with these cards. They take so long to actually reach the destination, but he has hit so many of them. Ooh, Maple Leaf just barely missing the barricade there. Not able to defend that just by the skin of the teeth. Unfortunate bounce. Nicky Minolin also not able
really
to
seeing
secure
the
that
damage
barricade.
come out this match as well. Like, check out all this damage. Nicky Minolin and Etihan both sitting around half HP right now. I mean,
and
it only makes sense. You have siphoning on both sides. I mean, more siphoning on the side of Longhorn Gaming, but still M&M Mouse coming with siphoning and specialized. Both goals are going to be open now.
Yep, Maple Leaf almost missing there. A little bit of panic. He used the ult, but after missing the strike shot, but managed to get the strike back just in time. The Fania ult able to secure it. Ooh, Flambeau not able to score. Etihan buying some time. Black hole in the Kazan all over the place. Card corner and out of the map. And Etihan misses a strike at the end of all that.
Yeah, there goes Nicky Minolin. Like that was. You're gonna get hit by that Finny ult standing in it. Then you're gonna get core flipped. You don't really want to take that damage.
But any damage is good as long as you can get a goal. So. Both teams on the board now. We got a core flip across, but Soren just barely missed that angle. M&M Mouse though is going to be able to secure that. Not both barricades, but does get one for now. Lightning is going to send it right through to Nicky Minolin, but not be able to secure it. Soren standing in place, trying to survive. Has a gauntlet to go around here, but is going to be keeping distance from the core and the opponents to just sort of catch a breath. Ooh.
Yeah, Nicky Minolin and Soren staggered. Soren's out of here. Nicky Minolin might be next. Very dangerous game both teams are playing here.
We have the Fini ult has actually been usually. Ooh, M&M Mouse hitting the core and the Kazan straight off the map there with the ultimate. Wonderfully done there. Some passes down around. Flambeau's going to use an ult. It's going to be dodged. Just a little bit of an energy tax, making sure that the X doesn't get a core flip at any point in time. And then back to brawling. 1 goal open. But we do see. Ooh, red core out of Kazan. It is in overtime, so he's going to be hitting it so hard. But that Fanil...
Kazan whiffs a strike there. isn't quite able to get it in, but core control still on the side of Longhorn Gaming, and they're doing pretty good. Soren's over here, second goaling with Itihan. They're able to keep it alive. Itihan's finally getting a bit damaged, but use the secondary to ward off Nigminolin. Core flip's almost out.
Oh. Itihan with the bad angle, maybe a MOBA moment there, I'm not entirely sure, but that is so unfortunate. Managed to get the strike to clear, but cleared at too steep an angle into his own goal.
Yeah, I mean, the core is just in the face. It was going to go, I think it was going to go in there sooner or later, one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Soren's denying quite a lot of space there with that ult. Nigminolin now staggered. Mr. Flambeau defending that entire goal with their special as well.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Itihan missing the angle and sending it back into the barricade, but Mouse is going to send Kazan off the map. Ooh, Soren trying to get a Gumi clear around the barricade, but not able to do that, unfortunately. Ooh, these angles are so scuffed, but in the end, it's going to go into the goal.
Wow, okay,
And
Lakeland doing a little bit of throwing in that right there, but they had the 3v2, and they positioned correctly and passed it to each other. Beautiful team play.
And that is an extra special potentially going to a Fini or a Monumentalist going to a Fini that already has the specialized training. We're going to see which one of those is picked up. Could be something else as well. And Missile Prop is also really great when you're nailing those cards already. So just the extra damage from that is going to just absolutely decimate. 1-2 punch going over device is pretty nice. Kind of weird that the extra special is not taken, but less cooldowns, more kills, I suppose, is the method there. And also denies the Kazan. We see that the X...
Everything useful here gets picked up besides Knife's Edge there. Nigminolin going for the unstoppable, hopefully trying to get damage to the less. I'm also surprised about that extra special going all the way, and Mouse is dead.
It's going to orbit the core. It's going to orbit the center. They're just going to have a moment there. It was ruined by Nigminolin. You don't get to see it orbit the core very often.
I respect it. I respect letting it orbit for a bit. You know, it's just a little hypnotizing. Yes, me.
It's always funny to see how long it's like the bouncers on Clarion as well. You never know how long it's going to go. Oh, and speaking of bouncing, that is going to be Flambeau bouncing off the map there, and Nigminolin is also super low and just gets demolished by that Vice ult. Supernova going out, and that's going to be a goal. Mouse. Maple Leaf just alone with an X and a core right in front of you. Not a place you want to be at any point as a goalie.
Yeah, that double kill is going to really do a number here. I mean, that first kill, a little unexpected from Mr. Flambeau death there. The black hole putting in some surprise work coming right off cooldown. But as we see here, Mouse is almost dead, and Nigminolin was and is again and is dead. The barriers are down on the side of Lakeland. Yeah,
that was a wonderful shot by Maple Leaf all the way across with a strike shot primary, able to shoot all the way across the field. Get that double barricade, and that's going to be Mouse going off. Flambeau has a little bit of advantage. Strike shot's going to pass it almost to Flambeau. Minolin respawns, uses primary, but Soren is there to double goalie. Maple Leaf putting in some artillery support from backlines, and that is Itihan putting in the work, just sniping it through to the corner. Maple Leaf out of position. Sorening as well. We have 2 Sorens in this game. Actually, no, we really only have 1 Soren because Soren's not even goalie this time. And that is going to be Minolin missing the upwards bounce, but it was actually just a ruse, all according to plan. Bounce it right back to him to go to the bottom side and just tripping BT.
Yeah, you can see those early barriers and kills really putting in work. You get him down early, the chances that you're making a goal, that set, go way up. Regardless, Mouse was back from their black hole jump scare, and it didn't even matter.
One thing about the black hole is that there's 2 black holes because, I mean, Fini with that specialized training is putting in so much damage, so you have to be careful of that one as well. But Nigminolin is putting in, almost putting in some damage with the ult there, but Itihan's going to duck out of the way.
Flambeau almost dead. Mouse taking that kill.
You hate to see it but never mind, you love to see it if you are on the Longhorn Gaming teams. Yeah, you give up Flambeau, but then Nigminolin gets the core in the end, so you can sink it in with that Kazan primary.
Yeah, that was a very good primary. had flip up right after that too. So I think that goal had a really good chance of going in, even if it was defended properly by ET there. Ooh, Nicki Minlin getting a damage debuff. Looking really low. Probably gonna want to use a core flip soon. There it is. Ends up getting the barrier against Etion and Soren.
Yeah, we see that Fanny card going wide is a little bit uncharacteristic of Etion. Has been hitting so many of those, but doesn't matter in the end. X dodging out of the stun from the Vice and sinking it in.
Very flashy. Very flashy.
Unfortunately, it's going to cost him core flip because you can see Eminem Mouse so close to that third energy bar. If Eminem Mouse hadn't used the flip, would be just a hit or two away from the core flip, but better safe than sorry, and it's not too much energy to go. Double barricade, though, is going to go for... Oof. I barely even have time.
2-2 at the end. Last point. 5th point of this set going towards Lakeland.
Barely even have time to talk about the barricades going down and everything that's happening before the core is sent flying into the goal. And that is so many great things for non-KO comps. There's Prize Fighter and Glass Cannon, that's about it. All these others are amazing for midfielding and core control. I mean, Team Player, Fighter Flight. You got a Twin Drive going over the Fanny for the bonus little hits of that debuff. Castellas picked up by the X, going to be very good damage there. Kazan going to attempt to start building up the Spark meta.
I mean, even with just the Spark of Focus there, I don't think we've seen. I don't remember seeing any Sparks earlier, but so you could go with the comeback mechanic here, but even just giving Kazan cooldown at all is just going to be powerful. So even one more Spark, if whoa, that's some damage.
Yeah, I mean, two Vice ults kind of on top of each other, hitting each other. And just going to do all of the damage in the world to the teams. Eminem Mouse still staggered, but has that siphoning one to try and heal up a little bit, is trying to live. Nicki Minlin is trying to make Eminem Mouse not live, but uses everything, and Eminem Mouse still stands, picks up the goalie orb, and is almost right as rain. Now gets passed from Soren. Lightning is arcing across the entirety of the Lakeland Catfish. That is another Supernova coming out with that extra special, but it's going to be defended for now. The Fanny secondary a little bit late to manage to get it, and that is Eminem Mouse finally going off map, was just being battered for almost 50 seconds before finally being killed there.
Yeah, I mean, Nicki Minlin
Soren's in jail.
Using that kit to live. I saw that secondary in open form, getting that elusive out, dodging as much as they can. DPS from MNN Mouse here. Barrier goes down on the side of the Lakeland, and also for that Longhorn, both goals are open and everybody's alive. Maybe not for long, though. Nicki Minlin almost bites the bullet.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
And that is the Longhorns taking the 0.1 there. Flambeau just ulting there, has the Kazan to ensure that the core is in the right place in the ultimate. If the Fanny tries to hit it out or anything, Kazan can just set it right back to where it is, and you just hold the ultimate, trust your team, and it's going to go in. So, well played by them. Good teamwork.
Wow, core just bouncing up and down here. Soren's able to find the angle, and also it needs to find the orb here. Takes the goalie orb, which is really nice. Nicki Minlin wasting the cooldown.
Flambeau walked too close to the edge, and just I'm pretty sure Flambeau was pretty much full health there, but was just too close, and the specialized training on the X is just going to demolish you.
Soren with the pass comm. Nicki Minlin looking damaged.
And that is going to be Nicki Minlin going down there, passing between Soren and Etion, kind of going up and down the middle of the field. Fanny ult almost passes it to the enemy goalie, but it's going to be avoided. Fanny ult uses the secondary as a kind of flip up, and Soren's going to send it into the goal.
Maple Leaf, oh my god, Maple Leaf's health bar is completely gone, and Maple Leaf is dead. Etion gets to Soren. The back pass from Soren. Interesting there.
But it's not expected, and that's sometimes what you need. Soren just misses the angle there, unfortunately. Would have been a great goal there, but didn't get the demon. Nicki Minlin has that debuff, though.
Get that dash
very low. Eminem Mouse dodging the Vice ult, and you can just see that Eminem Mouse almost has no energy ever because of all of the things that he has to dodge, but why dodge when you just ram yourself into the enemy goalie and punch him?
Yeah, I mean, and with a beautiful save by Etion, and the core bouncing around the map, Eminem Mouse is able to sink it in. 1 point for Lakeland.
Yeah. And I mean, credit to Maple as well. So many of those situations are so difficult to come back with. And oh, Nikki Minilin taking Eminem Mouse and Soren hitting the barricade again, trying to practice these Goomy clears mid-match. And E.T. Han finally has a backwards Finny ult. I was wondering when it was going to happen.
Oh
It was
yeah,
bound to
Soren
happen at some
Dubu
point,
question marking there. That bell ringer from MNN Mouse. Hitting it back into the barrier, and then immediately death. Immediate death did not do much for them.
And that was sort of a team concerted trolling there. Eminem Mouse hits it backwards, and then Soren hits
Lambo
the barricade.
finds a
E.T.
good
Han.
kill. Soren and E.T. Han stacking on top of each other.
And Maple Leaf
goes
playing
down.
super far up, sort of a do or die. They have a point advantage here, and they're just going to use it to secure the set. When you have that point advantage, you can afford to play a lot more risky. You have a barrier, you have a point, you can lose a lot without losing. So just putting the extra aggression to make sure that it's harder to lose. And that's a spark of leadership potentially going to a Kazan, but that means you have to give up the spark of strength or the agility. A little sad to see all of those at the same time if you're Nikki Minilin, who had just picked up the one spark.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want Kazan to have more sparks here, but you cannot deny there's 3 sparks on the table. Kazan's getting more cooldown. Just probably
And-
the worst thing to see on a Kazan with Siphoning Wand.
And honestly, I'd say more important than the Kazan getting that cooldown reduction, the Vice, who already has the extra special, gets cooldown reduction as well. 13 cooldown right there, just from the Spark of Leadership passing along. And 3 power, a little bit of speed from the Spark of Leadership ain't much, but that cooldown is going to be something fierce when there's already so much to go on that ult.
I mean, this is the era of Spark of Leadership. Influences every draft of every game, unless you're seeing like all 5 sparks at the very beginning. Apparently that does not matter to Soren and MNN Mouse, as X says, just punches it in.
It is a little unfortunate only getting the sparks so late in the match, but it is the potential turning point that will allow them to turn it around.
I mean, sparks can pretty easily be a comeback mechanic if the drafts allow it. And in this situation, it could be, but it looks like MNN Mouse and Soren want to try to crit their trolling as much as they can. They're really focusing on getting it in. MNN Mouse snipes a kill. Both barriers go down on both sides, though, pretty fast.
Yeah, and Maple Leaf still managed to clear it for now, but when you're a person down, you can just have so many open pass angles. Core flip down to Soren, he just puts it in like that.
Yeah, there you go.
is-
Very smart use of core flip. Hitting it in. Can't help but notice the SLU emotes flying out after every point.
Yeah. Good old team spirit and
Yeah,
so on and
spreading
so
some team spirit for SLU, which crushes Nicki Minilin's spirit and also their body off the map.
Oh, speaking of going off the map, that I believe
X
was a
goes for
Fini
that
card.
ace too.
Yeah, I think it was a Fini card with the X dash. So just so much knockback coming in. But Nikki
With the
Minilin
core flip as
keeping,
well.
yeah, Nikki Minilin though keeping some amount of core control and Maple Leaf for the long range strike shots primaries. Eminem Mouse just going to send it right through, just doing X things. ET on a bit of a pickle between the Kazan and the Vice teleport there, but is going to keep dribbling it in front of the goal and eventually pass it to Soren. Flambeau's quick ult does manage to damage Soren enough, and this is the potential of the reverse sweep.
Yeah, I mean, Soren put very low there and just had to sit in timeout for that entire point. But they're still 1 point away from taking this. So it's still very possible that Lakeland takes this first game here.
Yeah, and they're going to see what they can do about it, but
One
it
barrier.
is going to be a tough
2 barriers
uphill
for
when you're
Lakeland.
against that. That is
Eminem
so
Mouse
brutal.
almost dead. Dangerous. No orbs. Eminem Mouse wants to goalie as a staggered X.
Dangerous waters here for Longhorn, especially when Nikki Minilin is dead. 2 barricade advantage. And it's a 3v2, but Flambeau is putting in the work here. Maple Leaf is ensuring that Flambeau is as big and fast as possible. Strike shots to do as much as possible. Core flip comes out of multiple people. So far, everyone is still standing. The core is going there, but that is Maple Leaf sent into the goal, which opens it
Some
up.
very
for Swarm
clever
to put it in
passes on the
bottom.
side of Lakeland, and that that card, Finny card, to seal the deal.
Yeah, as a goalie, you have to be so aware of those Fini cards coming in, and it's difficult because you're focused on what's right in front of you, trying to defend the goal, and then out of nowhere, seemingly miles away, this card just zips at you. And when you have that missile prop, I mean, you don't even have to be standing at the very edge of the goalie box. If you're just a little too close, you're just dead, as Maple Leaf has unfortunately found out this game.
And we're seeing here the majority of the KOs falling to Lakeland. The majority of the damage falling to Lakeland. It only makes sense. They put in that work. I mean, really, the difference might just be that Finny with the secondary debuff, those cards coming in clutch. Etihan actually having the most kills in the game is Finny.
Yeah, it was always so on point with those cards. And not what you expect from a brawler play. I mean, Etihan is a good player, but you know, usually you're seeing Etihan on the Julies and the X's. I think a little bit of Asher as well. And you know, you don't expect that long range precision to come out of a goalie Etihan on the Fini, but I mean, was well played by Etihan there in sort of the off roll. I don't know if this is like a permanent thing or if Lakeland's just trying to cook a little bit. But was really well played there, I have to commend, because Fini goalie is very difficult to play off well, but Etihan had the exact timing necessary for the cards, and I think in that entire game, only one Fini ultimate went backwards the entire game, so not too bad.
Yeah, well, I do agree. There was a little bit of trolling, not a whole lot, but there was a little bit of trolling, a little bit of misplays on the side of Lakeland. You had maybe an X bell ring or two, maybe an interesting Finny special. But they did crush pretty hard. They only dropped one set. Oh no, was it two sets? I actually don't remember. Don't quote me on that. One set. They only dropped one set.
Maybe.
They dropped quite a few points though, so it wasn't a complete stomp. But I do like the weird cooking. I do like the interesting plays coming out from an unexpected Etihan goalie.
And it seems they are switching it up around for game 2 as well. Soren is now back on goalie. I don't know if that was if Soren got tired of playing goalie forward so much that decided to just play forward and then goalie instead. But things are now back to the way that they should be. Soren on goalie, where he can now play too far up.
Yeah. I mean, it worked. It did work was the thing. So that was the coolest part about that play is it worked. I mean, you had Soren on that vice, which is perfect for moving around the map.
And going back to the map pick bans, I believe that was Lakeland's choice. Yeah,
looks like our starting awakenings here are Prize Fighter and Monumentalist. So we're seeing these Creation Titans come out. Soren hovering that Aimi, Etihan hovering that Dubu. Dubu forward, which we were just talking about before this game started. MNN Mouse hovering Atlas forward.
Ooh.
Very interesting. Oh,
but the rune midfield.
Just a little troll.
Well, this is looking like one of our comps for OSAS real quick.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can't. The rune midfield on Tycho, with that Monumentalist, looks like we're getting a rune on both sides.
Now, if only that was Zentaro goalie, then it would really be good. But I don't think they're that they're not that enlightened as to the true ways to play the game. It's going to be a Zentaro forward and Asher goalie there.
It looks like Monumentalist goes to almost everyone as well, except for Nicky Minilin, because, well, you wouldn't be playing Manu Zentaro.
Would be a good meme for a few seconds before you realize it affects literally nothing in your kit, and then quite sad.
Yeah.
We see Flambo playing,
putting out these pillars, playing this nice rune second goalie here.
Yeah, he's playing very defensively with those, which is great for keeping the barricades alive, but not great for clearing it out. Sometimes you want those a little bit farther forward. You know, it's sort of like you can defend for 5 years, but they only need to get it through once. So I would look to see a few more of those being farther forward to leverage them more. But so far, nothing too concrete yet. A rune vanish, beautiful from M&M Mouse onto the core and the goalie there. But so far, that barricade is standing. Mouse self-pass off the barricade there, and that's a
Easy
Dubu
Han
going
taking
down.
an insane amount of damage from Flambeau's Banish, leading to a death. Nick Miniland has core flip up, but smart Rune Pillar denies enough space to let Maple Leaf own goal.
Does happen, unfortunately, sometimes.
I mean, that's just rune things. We'll see if one of these runes is able to pick up Timeless or Cast to Last. It's going to be pretty one-sided in terms of the rune fight. Because right now these pillars are big, but they aren't lasting very long, and that is instant KO.
But they get a barrier for the troubles, and that's another banish from another rune. So we're gonna have the game going on pause every now and then. Etihan gets a kill on the Dubu forward. Corflip out of Soren, gonna go for a wacky angle, but just misses it, hits a barricade, and hits it backwards. Nicky Miniland on the second goalie, almost own goals, and then Maple gets killed on the defense. Looking eerily similar to last game, where Lakeland just has so much forward pressure. Maple Leaf is forced to defend so far back in the goal, and then just one ability is all it takes. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, and everybody's getting something out of their starting awakening here, except for Nicky Miniland, who's stuck with a 0 stacks prize fighter. Is having a little rough time there.
You do hate to see it. The advantage, though, to picking up a non-creation character is you're weaker for that first set, and that is a Dubu goal.
There's the drum.
Dubu forward bouncing off the drums there.
The drum comes out. I mean, okay, on this map, that center drum can do a lot more damage than you might think at first glance. I've picked up so many kills on it playing goalie.
Speaking of playing goalie, Soren there with that wonderful reaction there to that bounce off the center was a really scuffed angle, but Soren was expecting it, saw it coming. Etihan not able to defend, or not able to get it through the defensive Maple Leaf. Soren trying to
now
cyber
able
forward.
to keep a really good possession there, but Etihan's looking very damaged, can very easily die to anything. Flambeau actually, Nicky Miniland wastes the core flip actually trying to kill Etihan.
Yeah,
But
and that
they
is
make the goal.
And that is also the Soren that we know and love, playing goalie on the other side of the field. Doesn't matter if you can't defend, just have enough offense so it doesn't matter. But we see Asher is definitely getting some size if she wants it, either Recovery Drone or Demolitionist, both really good. We see, okay, so it's going to be a Demolitionist deny, and also picking up on the rune pretty good to reset the cooldown of those barriers. I mean, you're the rune main, you probably know better than I, but that is probably pretty brutal to play against.
I mean, yeah, Rune is another one of those people that scale pretty hard off of cooldowns when you can deny so much space, especially with Monumentalists. Ideally, though, for these runes, their ideal awakenings aren't showing up yet. Although Nicky Miniland does get this spark of resilience, which could help them live.
Yeah, and we see that Flambeau actually picks up the Among Titans, so the extra speed and extra size on the Asher as well. So this is a very large Asher goalie, I think even bigger than the Dubu now. So able to just win those strike wars more convincingly. And now Flambeau and Nicky Miniland can finally play forward a little bit more. And they can finally get some offense, but then it immediately goes back. Lakeland is just on point with keeping the core control and keeping the core on the side of Longhorn Gaming.
Yeah, it looks like Flambeau didn't quite have the cooldown splits that a pillar in time, but still, it's a pretty great defense, except for... Flambeau placing a pillar in front of his goalie's face. I can't say I haven't done the same, because that would be lying.
It does happen, unfortunately. And there we go. Redeems one barrier for one barrier. The rune midfield giveth and taketh away.
Flambeau somehow lives, but is immediately shut down. That's fair.
That core flip and that angle. It was almost so close.
Scary.
It actually tripped up Soren. The glitch pop actually hits it backwards instead of forwards. These bounces are
3v3
favoring.
again.
Longhorn Gaming is getting such good bounces, such calculated bounces here, but Soren is just on top of the defense for now. Log from
Flambeau's
Dubu,
been
but
sending it back with some overtime pillars, but it's just not able to find a way through Soren, and that just leaves core control back to Lakeland.
You hate to see it. Maple Leaf again having to defend so far back after so much pressure that Etihan can just kill the Asher with a roll. Unfortunate to see, but it does happen.
Flambeau
that
gets
is potentially
banished,
dead.
and
Flambeau. lives for
Is
now.
not dead. Yeah, that rune kill combo can be very tricky to pull off, but it's okay because you get him damaged enough. Someone else can come in and finish the job.
But that was really well played there. Nikki Middleton getting the barricade through Soren with just the second part of the Zentaro primary was amazing. Just perfectly timed, tripped him up. And then Maple
E.T. yelling at Soren
forward.
actually for that glitch pop. It looks like.
Sorening, it is the way of the world. Oh, finding the corner of the barricade is the Dubu there. Not
Doesn't
quite.
matter. There's a pillar on it. One barricade goes down inside Lakeland as well, though. The banishing.
Banishes going out. Actually, kind of a weird stagger on the banishes. And Nikki Middleton not able to find.
Honestly,
Zentaro
that
combo
second banish
there.
could have been insanely huge because you can't double banish that core as you just saw. But it's okay because some big beach balls hit it into the goal.
It is so difficult for Longhorn Gaming to just clear it off their side with the Dubu forward. And that is Soren just getting a kill. I mean, that's how Sorening works. You just play forward and you have enough offense that it doesn't matter that you're not there to defend. So, I mean, it's a brilliant strategy when it works, and it seems to be working pretty well this time.
Yeah, Nikki was not expecting that. Oh, these are some pillars. The drum actually, I think, saves Nikki there. I don't think that was a livable moment.
Absolutely, definitely looked like that would have been a kill had it not been for the drum. But it was a great double banish before that, bought a lot of time, a little bit of pressure. But so far, it's one barricade to one barricade. And Nikki Middleton is putting in some work, but the glitch pop is going to beat out Flambeau. The log is going to beat out Nikki Middleton. And Soren is just going to keep glitch popping and cyber sweeping around to make sure that Longhorn Gaming cannot do much. But there, Nikki Middleton finds the angle. Flambeau's barricade stuck around a little bit too long there, and Dubu finds the strike war win. Bounce off the top isn't going to go into the goal, and now it's back in the court of Longhorn Gaming on their side of the map, as it has been for so long. And Soren with the mix-up, the cyber sweep into the core flip. You expect the cyber sweep to hit it forward, so you use an ability, and then Soren core flips to stop it. You waste your ability, he sends it to the bottom, you can't do anything about it. It was a great mix-up.
Oh yeah, it looks like we're going to a little raid from Beepo, by the way. Coming in. Spectating this very fun-to-watch match.
That is a spark of leadership going over to the Zentaro. I'm picking up the hot shot instead of the siege machine there, just going for the more reliable cooldown reduction rather than the bigger projectiles. And that means a rune instead gets siege machine, which is pretty darn good on him. More duration, more damage, and longer projectile for the ultimate. And that is Asher getting even more size.
Not to mention that rapid fire going to Eminent Mouse. Now rapid fire is, as we all know, is really, really good on rune. Could honestly be the end of the game. That rapid fire going to the wrong road. Pillars everywhere. Soren doesn't care. Is still able to clear it.
Yeah, a bit of a battle of quantity versus quality. Flambeau has the longer lasting, harder hitting pillars, and not when he's dead though. E.T. Han securing all of these kills. Whoever thought that Dubu was not a brawler, you are very much wrong, and E.T. Han is proving it now. So much damage coming out. He is a little squishy at times, so you can exploit that by killing, but Soren just cyber sweeping Flambeau. Flambeau is not able to survive more than a few seconds, it seems. And the Dubu Particle Accelerator is real, just superpositions that core through itself. But Lakeland has their eye on the core, and they're handling it pretty darn well so far.
Looks like we had a pretty good pillar there from En and Mouse, but Nikki Middleton had, or no, Flambeau had something, another pillar to hit back in that direction. Another pillar to be saving this. Barriers down on the side of Lakeland. And Soren to keep it up without the barriers. Nikki Middleton with a close try. Wow, I really thought that pillar was going to hit it in, but Soren was just in the perfect position to hit it away again.
Yeah, I mean, we had it a little while ago where the bounces were really favoring Longhorn Gaming, but Lakeland has now been the one favored on the bounces. So just every core seems to gravitate towards Soren. That's another rune combo with the Dubu roll to secure the kill. Nikki Middleton does have the core flip, though, and it is on the side of Lakeland for a couple of seconds, I say. And that is going to be the classic rune anomaly in front of goalie. There's not a whole lot you can do about that one. You just kind of predict.
Yeah, E.T. Han and Eminent Mouse showing off. I mean, this comp, I say this comp is good for a reason. And it's because this comp is good. We have these creations that are able to deny so much space. I mean, especially if you have a monumentalist start. It's insane.
That's a
One
great
barrier
angle
falls
from
for
Mickey
Soren, though.
Minolin, though. That was a crazy angle to just get it on the corner of that barricade after the bounce into the drum. But Soren and Eminent Mouse with that prime time, or the rapid fire, sorry, is able to just get so much work done in defending this. But that said, the barricades on both sides, there's still one standing. So Soren has core flip though, so would have an advantage there in the defense.
Yeah, watching that little interaction there. Wow, how is this barrier not getting there? There's the barrier. But watching Soren stand there, there's a perfect team play by Eminent Mouse and Soren defending that barrier. It's really the reason this point may get scored here is because one team was able to defend the barrier and one team wasn't.
Yeah, and especially when you have that rapid fire, because, ooh, E.T. Han with the Dubu roll mix-up just rolls to stop the core, wastes the strike of the goalie, and then you hit it in.
Yeah, we can see Maple Leaf there. Ankle's broken a little bit, not quite expecting that small window of the goal to get taken advantage of, but that's why you got to take advantage of it. Core is banished. Eminent Mouse denies a pillar from Flambeau.
Yeah, that Asher primary, though, is so massive, and so is the strike area from all the sides that Asher has picked up, so there is a lot that Maple Leaf can do around defending, but the others on the team have to stay alive, and Longhorn Gaming has to find a way to keep this core on the other side of the field, because so far, Eminent Mouse and E.T. Han have just not let it stay on their side of the field very long. Soren will defend, will clear, and then it's instantly on the other side of the field. Dubu Particle Accelerator twice in one game. Of course, just squeezing through with the instant flip out of Maple Leaf, going to send it on the other side, but we're just going to see how long they can keep it there, and it's not going to be long after a great glitch pop out of Soren. Maple Leaf, though, with all of that strike range from the sides, and Mickey Minolin able to dash forwards, but Soren's glitch pops are on point. Flambeau passing it up to the top, the Dubu log kind of bit of a self-pass, it's kind of scuffed, but that doesn't hit the barricade there. Okay, Flambeau's able to secure it in the end, but that was crazy. Soren is Sorening, and it's going to work.
That was some divine intervention there, just for a little bit, but it looks like they're able to just hit it in. I mean, some ridiculous team play. There was really good brawl coming out. I think Lakeland picked the superior comp here.
And I mean, you can kind of see it, not anymore, but yeah, you could see it in the levels where it was, you know, Team Lakeland was level 9, and level 8, and now on the other team you have level 7, level 6. That is, you know, such a level gap across the board, 2 levels on every person. And it sort of just tells that story of the game. I mean, 11 KOs for Team Lakeland. Whereas Longhorn Gaming only found 2, ironically enough, on the goalie Maple Leaf getting those kills. I'm pretty sure on the Dubu on the top side, most of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. The Dubu, especially after his recent debuff and stagger, it's fair that you're able to find some more kills on that. You have, I mean, if you look at the stats page, it is pretty dominant towards one side. We can see Lakeland obviously having the more goals. Not actually having the difference in saves, but having the difference in KOs, having the difference in damage, having the difference in shots. A little bit more difference in redirects, and I mean, orbs, whatever, they're orbs.
Nah, orbs are the most important thing in the game. What do you mean? But yeah,
not a whole lot of difference there in the orbs.
But yeah, the difference in the saves, or rather, the almost lack of difference in the saves, really just comes down to Maple Leaf not blocking as many of the shots. So there were fewer shots for Soren to block, so he was able to block about the same as Maple. There were just more that went through on that side.
And we can see Soren's also the one making some of these shots. 21 shots from Soren, a goal and 2 assists as well. Really hitting it towards the other side.
And that is sort of that's sort of the package that you get with Soren is great defense, great offense, and seems to be finding a better job balancing it. It could just be that this game they were just more dominant and they were able to steamroll off of that, so there wasn't as much punishing Soren playing up. But Soren is a great goalie. He plays defensively enough, and when he's playing defensively, it's almost impossible to score on him, to get anything around him. And then when Soren teleports forward on that INE, or just runs forward on the Atlas sometimes, is able to put up so much forward pressure to secure some of those goals. And there is a window in there when Soren is playing up that you can kind of exploit, but unfortunately, Longhorn Gaming was not able to exploit that opening. They were just under so much pressure that it was all that they could do to keep the core out of the net, let alone on the other side of the field for most of the game.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think both teams did play pretty good, but I think really the main difference there is just, and like if I'm being honest here, Lakeland just like this comp, Dubu forward, it's at least on Taiko Temple. I think everyone can agree with me that Dubu forward is real on Taiko Temple.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really good comp. I mean, the Rune v Rune, you had some really interesting Rune duels there, but MN Mouse did get rapid fire. I think that was another big difference in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one of the other things is like Flambeau did get the bonus duration and damage from Siege Machine, but one of those things, I mean, Rune Pillar duration is kind of a double-edged sword, because yeah, it can help it stick around and defend a barricade longer, but it can also really hurt you, and it did a few times where it stuck around just a little bit too long, and suddenly it's in the way of a clear, and your goalie's just kind of suffering.
Yeah, it's definitely a double-edged sword, but like, as long as you can use that double-edged sword effectively, you're going to be getting the positive benefits mostly. But, I mean, there's only so much you can do against a comp that has their ideal awakenings, their ideal map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was really a good second game. Lakeland here taking 2-0ing Auburn. Or no, this is not Auburn. Why did I say Auburn? Longhorn Gaming. Sorry. I'm off in my own space with all these CCL teams. Hard to remember the names.
Yep, there are a lot of them. But yeah, I mean, Longhorn Gaming put up a really good fight in that first map. They took one set. They almost took a couple of sets. They were just a couple of good passes away from actually taking that first game. But they switched the roles back around for game 2 and Lakeland Catfish. With Soren on the goalie / forward, and E.T. Han on the forward, able to just show off that prowess that has put them as a top team for so long. But yeah, speaking though of Soren, you've probably seen the pin messages and the announcements in the various Discords, but in case you haven't, there's going to be an ego check of Soren versus Zoro. For those that don't know, Ego Check basically is a 1v1 where they swap the teammates back and forth, and there's some other rules every now and then that they flip around. But basically, it's to prove who can be the better player overall when you equal other things out. So seeing Soren here playing the goalie forward, if you enjoyed watching that, you're going to see a lot more of it when that comes out.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the best way to grab some bragging rights for yourself. So I'm excited to see that happen. If I'm not in class, I may be in class, but I might just have to watch it anyway.
Your teachers will surely understand.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was number 4 Lakeland Catfish versus the number 8 Longhorn Gaming. Longhorn Gaming did not get the upset. Lakeland Catfish 2-0'd, and that's it for the matches streamed today. Thanks for tuning into Striker Central.
Thank you all very much.